Greetings to you all. Welcome back to Shexa's YouTube channel. My name is Martin Mashega and well known as Shexa Martin. Please like, comment, share and subscribe so that you do not miss out any new video that I upload on this YouTube channel. Today we're going to talk about virtualization, which is a technology that is used to enable cloud computing. And for us to have an efficient and effective visualization, we need to have a hypervisor. And the hypervisor is just a software, or it's just technology that is used to enable visualization. And we have two types of hypervisors. We have type 1 and type 2. And that's what we're going to talk about today. So, under normal circumstances, we have on your computer, you have the hardware, which is either supplied by Dell, maybe by HP, or any other hardware supplier. So, for instance, we might have Dell, might have Apple hardware product, might have Windows hardware product, and that's the hardware that is having an operating system. So on top of the hardware, we have an operating system, and on top of operating system, that's where we install applications such as Microsoft Office package. We install Adobe Reader, Photoshop, MATLAB, and many other applications that we install. So this is the normal architecture that we have on normal computers. So that's it. For instance, let's have that example. We have Dell, and on top of Dell, what do we have there? We have an operating system. And what's the name of the operating system? It's a Windows 10. And on top of Windows 10, we have many applications, a number of applications. So that's the normal architecture of the computers that we use on a daily basis. So on operating system level, you may choose to say I want Windows, you may say I want Linux, you may say I want Chrome OS, you may want iOS, you may choose to have any kind of operating system that you want. So that's the normal architecture that we have on our normal machines. Now let's talk about visualization or virtualized machines. What we have here is a normal hardware. You buy your Dell, maybe you buy your MacBook, you buy your Windows server, you buy your Inspire server, any kind of hardware that you buy, you have it like that. And then on type 1 is the type 1 hypervisor is the one that runs directly on top of the hardware. So on top of that hardware, that's where we have the hypervisor. And the types of examples of hypervisors, we have VMware, vSphere. We also have Zen server. We have Microsoft. So we have a number of type 1 hypervisors. We have a number of type 1 hypervisors. So from there, on top of the hypervisor, that's where the virtual machines will then sit on. The virtual machines will then sit on top of the hypervisor. So we may have our Windows virtual machine, which operates in a normal way like any other hardware machine with an operating system and applications like we talked before. So here we have a virtual machine number 1 with Windows, number 2 with Linux, number 3 with Mac OS. So we have 3 operating systems only on one hardware machine. So the benefit is you will have the benefits of using Windows. You also benefit the advantages of using Linux, the advantages of using Mac OS. You may say applications that do not run on Linux, you run them on Windows. Those that do not run on Mac, you run them either on Linux or on Windows. So if you want to benefit from security, let's say you have an application that requires strict and tight security, you have those applications running from Linux operating system. So you will have your applications and everything else secured, and you benefit efficiency, you benefit all kinds of benefits that we get from different operating systems. So we do have other applications that do not run on Linux. You run them on Windows. For instance, we have applications such as let me think about it. Let me think about the one that yes, we have 3D animators or 3D animation softwares. Normally, they do not run on Linux operating systems. So you choose to have those ones on Windows, and those that require high security, you have them on Linux. And then those that you think can run efficiently on Mac OS, you have them on Mac. And then here we have another hypervisor, another hardware, maybe let's say Windows servers. And then on top of that, we have our hypervisor, and this one we have a Citrix Zen server. And then on top of that, we have the same operating system, the same a virtual machine with the same operating system like the one that we have on the other hardware. We have Windows, and then we have Linux, and then we have Mac. So those are we now have 2 hardware machines, but we are benefiting from a number of machines that act as if they are hardware machines. So what we can say here is, with the 2 hardware machines, we now have 6 machines. So for instance, let's say I'm the one that is providing cloud services to a certain number of clients. So what I will be doing is, if those guys they want hardware, what I will do is I will just say I have 3 clients, right? And those 3 clients, they want to benefit from infrastructure. They want infrastructure. So what they want is a machine. If they say we want 3 machines, I will just have this machine given to one of the clients, and then this machine given to another client, and then this machine given to another client. And then those people will be using these 3 machines from a remote area or from their own geographical location, and then they will be benefiting from this machine. So if they have if they've requested for infrastructure as a service, it means they will have control over all applications that they need to install. So they can install the operating system, and they can also install applications. So they have control over operating system, the storage that they want on this virtual machine, the RAM, and all other things that they want. But what I will only have control over is this physical hardware. So what I will be doing is, with this physical hardware, if I have 3 clients, For instance, if I have 3 clients which require each client requesting, let's say the first client requires 40 gig, and let's just say all the 3 clients require 40 gig, meaning to say I will say 40 plus 40 plus 40, I will have 120 gig, meaning to say my hardware must be capable of providing the 120 gigabytes storage required by my clients. If these guys require more, I'll just add more storage on my hardware, and these guys can expand their storage, and they can install their operating systems and applications. So that's infrastructure as a service. But now when we say the clients do have what is called software as a service, what they will do is they will only have control over these applications and not the operating system. So if you just say I want MATLAB, you have access to MATLAB without knowing whether it's running on Windows, it's running on Linux. You just have access to the application that you want to run. So that's virtual machine. So if a client requests to have a data center, to say we want to have several machines, and then those machines want them to be on a network so that they communicate with each other. Maybe you want to have applications that runs on a network, and you want each person to have access to his or her machine and then do whatever they do without giving access to other users. Then you can have several virtual machines deployed and then given to your clients, and then they can do their networking by themselves, or you can provide the networking services by yourself. So let's now look at the architecture itself without any actual application, actual softwares and systems. So this is just it. We have hardware, hypervisor, then operating system, and applications for Virtual Machine 1, Virtual Machine 2, Virtual Machine 3. So you can choose the operating system that you want to have. This is type 1 hypervisor. This is type 1 hypervisor. And then what can happen is, like I said, your operating systems, your virtual machines may need to communicate with each other. So on a single hardware, those 3 virtual machines may send data to each other. They may connect to each other, maybe using what is called the host-only network, or you might have created your own other network. So these virtual machines are communicating with each other as a network, and maybe they are using client-server architecture to do the processing or to communicate with each other. Same applies on the other side, because they do have these 2 hardware devices. They do have the same architecture and they do have the same number of virtual machines. So these 2 can do communicate. But now we can also have these 2 hardware machines communicating with each other through virtual machine communication as well. So this virtual machine can communicate with that. So let's see how these 2 hardware machines can communicate. So you can see that this virtual machine is now sending data to this, that, and that. So 3 black data points are being sent to these 3 virtual machines. So right, so that's communication between these. So it's not limited only to this virtual machine with OS4, but you can see that OS3 is now also sending data to machines on the right side of the view. You can also see that red data points. You will see that the red data points going to this side. So you can see yellow data points are also going to that left side. And then we have yes, red data points are now also going to the left side. So these two hardware machines are communicating, but there is a number of communication lines between these three virtual machines from our left and those from our right. So that's it on hypervisor type number 1. So coming back to our normal. Systems. So we have those communications, and the applications are the one that are requesting data and processing is being done and all those things going on like that is said earlier. So these are the applications sending data. So you may choose to say I don't want Citrix and Server, I want VMware. Maybe I don't want VMware, I don't want Citrix. You may choose to say I want Microsoft hypervisor. So that's how it goes. That's how it goes. That's how it goes. So these virtual machines are communicating with each other, nothing else. Now let's talk about type 2 hypervisor. On type 2, what happens is we have a normal computer, which is like what we have on your side. I'm sure that you have a laptop or you have a desktop with you. So what we have there is we have hardware, and on top of hardware we have an operating system, and on top of an operating system you have a virtual box, and within a virtual box or a virtual workstation. So with a virtual workstation, that's the hypervisor here, which will then allow virtual machines to sit on top of this hypervisor. So we have hypervisor 1, which houses a number of virtual machines. Same applies, we have another hypervisor, and this hypervisor is having a number of virtual machines on it. And then same applies, we have a third virtual workstation or hypervisor with a number of virtual machines. So you will see that with this one, with this type 2 hypervisor, it runs on top of an operating system, and it allows you to have a number of hypervisors on a single hardware, and within each hypervisor you may have a number of virtual machines. So on this one we have 4, meaning you say we have 12 virtual machines. But what will suffer is your hardware. Your hardware must be capable of providing the memory, the storage, and everything else that is required by your virtual machines. And then same applies with right. So this is type 2 and this is type 1. To our left is type 2, to our right is type 1. And then on top of the hypervisor we have our virtual machines like that. So with type 1, it doesn't have many layers. It consists of only hardware layer, hypervisor layer, and then operating system layer, and then applications layer. But with type 2, it has got hardware layer, operating system layer, and then we have hypervisor layer, we have operating system layer, and then applications layer. So that's type 1 versus type 2 hypervisor. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much. Please don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Please subscribe to this YouTube channel so that you do not miss out any new video content that I upload. So what we're going to do next is we're going to have type 2 hypervisor, and then we install a number of virtual machines. We let them communicate. We install applications. We access an application from another virtual machine, and then we do other things as we go. Thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of your day. Goodbye.